Rumors of tension between these two have been circulating for a while, and now they have reached a roar. I'm silly. A crescendo. That's probably better. Hello, my friend. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and we've got to thank Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni for this. Everything in the media is cyclical. It's so on trend right now to have beefing co-stars. I don't really feel too bad for Disney. They need to lower their theme park prices. However, their upcoming live-action Snow White film, which is being released next week, has been mired in controversy ever since its release. I'm going to hit all of the highlights and lowlights, starting with Rachel Zegler, and I'm going to address her in parts. But initially, people were upset that Disney cast her. They thought it was a DEI hire. Rachel is Latina, halfsies. Her father is of Polish descent, and her grandmother was born in Colombia. She's a little far removed, but bienvenida. And some racist people were not pleased that a somewhat Latina is playing Snow White. Snow White. Well, guess what? Hello? I'm very Latino, and or look up the name Cristina Saralegui. She's even more Blancanieves than me. Yes, that's right. You can be Latino and white and have blue eyes. Those colonizers from Spain. Then, after the initial uproar over her casting, was the uproar by some in the dwarf community, notably Peter Dinklage. After the live-action adaptation of Snow White was announced, Peter, the Game of Thrones actor, said the following on a podcast. Literally no offense to anything, but I was sort of taken aback. They were very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves? Take a step back and look at what you're doing there. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, but you're still making that effing backward story about seven dwarfs living in a cave together? Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough. Well, almost immediately, Disney responded saying that they wanted to consult with members of the dwarfism community on the film. And not long after that, Disney said they were going to use CGI actors to play the dwarfs. And that didn't make things better. There were a lot of little people, which is also what they're called, actors, that were upset that they didn't hire a little person to play a dwarf. 7 of them. Hire a bunch. Give them work. Then, back to this one. Shortly after her casting, she talked some smack about the original Disney classic. She got a lot of blowback after calling the original film weird and referring to the prince as a stalker. In an interview, Zegler said that their Snow White, she's not going to be saved by a prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. That led many to label the film as woke, and ever since then, and the Peter Dinklage comments, things have gotten worse and worse and worse. And she's not handled the controversy pretty well, I would say, either. In a since-deleted post, she responded to the blowback saying, "Yes, I am Snow White. No, I am not bleaching my skin for the role." It's kind of like the Streisand effect, right? Sometimes the best thing to do is what the British royals do. Never complain, never explain. Ignore. Soldier on. But she's very young and has a big mouth, and that's not a bad thing. Hello. My mouth was even bigger when I was young. For example, Shortly after Donald Trump was elected, Rachel Zegler caused an uproar with her comments about Trump voters. After Trump's victory, she took to social media and said, "I find myself speechless in the midst of this. Another 4 years of hatred, leaning us towards a world I do not want to live in. Leaning us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in." She doesn't have a daughter, by the way. "There is a deep sickness in this country that is shown in the sheer amount of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. Get the F off Elon's app, by the way. The F are you doing? May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace." It's pretty mind-blowing to me that she sent that message out knowing that she is Snow White in this huge Disney movie coming out just a few months later. Yes, she apologized for those comments afterwards. And she has not apologized for her many comments about the situation in Gaza. And that's fine. She is able to say whatever she believes in. I support free speech. And this is where the tensions start to rise between the two of them. She has been very pro-Gaza and Palestine, and Gal Gadot, who is from Israel, has been vocal and very pro-Israel. Bum, bum, bum. And Disney has not been thrilled that their movie has been surrounded in controversy, especially political drama that has polarized the world. And as I talked about on my podcast recently, things have been so bad with these two and the film's premiere that Disney did not invite any journalists to cover the red carpet of Snow White in Los Angeles this weekend. Photographers only, no interviews. Plus, they scaled down the size of the premiere from their lavish, over-the-top soirees to something smaller. They smell a bomb on their hands. The stink is strong. And now a brand new article in People magazine is stating what we already know. But I believe People. I think People magazine is highly credible. And they say, quote, "Rachel has nothing in common with Gal Gadot, a mom of 4 kids. And it's not just because of the age difference. Quote, "On top of that, their political views differ, adding to the tension." In fact, the European premiere of Snow White just happened, and Rachel was there, but Gal did not go. Insiders insist that things are bad between the two of them, but nowhere near Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni. Nowhere. A source tells People this isn't like a stay away from me situation. They were at the Oscars together, where they presented. They'll be together this weekend at the film's Los Angeles premiere. So why wasn't she at the film's European premiere? She was in New York doing press there instead. Plus, to keep them away, hello. I don't know if I'm believing this spin. Limit their time together. And also limit the potential for bad press. And Gal's not happy with all of this drama. A source tells People Gal is annoyed by the movie drama. She enjoyed filming. She was fine with Rachel, but they are not friends. They have nothing in common. They did a job together and that's it. Plus, she's not happy at her big mouth. Quote, "Gal's attitude is that you don't criticize and cause drama for a project you signed on to do. She just doesn't get it." Cosign. And she was just stopped by the paparazzi at LAX airport and asked about all of the drama. And she actually responded saying, "It feels wonderful for the film to be released next week." And then she booked it out of the airport. So, who is the villain in this story? Whose side are you on? What do you make of all this drama? Let's get into it in the comments section.